Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping straight into, well, an absolutely phenomenal cricket clash from the 2025 IPL. Royal Challengers Bengaluru versus Chennai Super Kings.
Oh, what a match that was. Seriously. Not just any game. This one was a proper nail-biter, right down to the very last ball.
Exactly. Some unbelievable batting, some really interesting tactics too.
Definitely. So setting the scene. Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru. Place was absolutely buzzing.
Right. And CSK won the toss, deciding to bowl first. A bit of a surprise maybe for Chinnaswamy.
Yeah, you usually think bat first there, but they went with bowling. And maybe that set the tone for, well, everything that followed.
Which was an incredibly tight finish. RCB just squeaked home by, what was it, 2 runs?
Just 2 runs. And the context was fascinating, too. RCB, desperate for those points, chasing a playoff spot.
But CSK, they were already out, technically, but playing for pride, playing for that huge fan base,
yeah,
always dangerous.
Absolutely. So where do we start? RCB's innings, that explosive start.
Yeah, let's dive into that. The openers, Jacob Bethell and Virat Kohli, they really they came out swinging.
They really did. Put the CSK bowlers under the pump right away. That opening stand, 97 runs, and it came fast.
Bethell got his first IPL 50, right? 55 off 33. Looked really good.
Yeah, a really impressive knock from him. And Kohli, well, he just carried on his purple patch, 62 off 33 for him. They just tormented that attack early on.
Sensational start, wasn't it? Put them in such a strong position. But cricket's never that simple, is it? CSK did fight back.
They did, yeah. Pathirana, he's got that knack, hasn't he? Got Kohli out. That broke the partnership.
And then things slowed down a bit.
Yeah, CSK managed to pick up 3 pretty important wickets through the middle overs. Suddenly, RCB are, 157 for 5 after 18 overs?
Right. Feels like CSK had clawed it back quite well at that point. Maybe restricted them to under 200.
You'd think so. But then Romario Shepherd walked in.
Oh, man. What happened next was just unbelievable power hitting.
Seriously. 53 not out off 14 balls. 14.
That strike rate is insane. 370-something.
378.57. 4 boundaries, 6 sixes. He just destroyed the Chennai bowlers in those last 2 overs.
How many runs came in those final 2?
Well, they added 54 in the last 2 overs. That 19th over from Khalil Ahmed went for 33 runs alone.
33? Wow.
Yeah. Joint second fastest IPL 50 ever. Tim David just sort of watched from the other end, got 2 runs in that 57-run partnership.
Incredible. So that completely changed the complexion. RCB finished on 213 for 5. A massive total.
Absolutely huge. You felt the momentum just completely shift right at the end there. Gave them a real boost going into the field.
So 214 to win. How did CSK approach that massive chase? Did they go hard from the start?
They did, yeah. Had to, really. Sheikh Rashid and Ayush Mhatre, they put on 51 pretty quickly, just over 4 overs.
Okay, so a good platform. Mhatre looked good, you said.
Yeah, he looked really fluent early on. Took the attack to the RCB bowlers, exactly the start they needed.
But RCB managed to break through. Can't let an opening stand build too much when defending that sort of score.
No, exactly. Krunal Pandya got the wicket, dismissed Rashid. Important breakthrough.
But Mhatre kept going.
Oh, did he ever? He then built this fantastic partnership with Ravindra Jadeja, 114 runs for the 3rd wicket. That really put the pressure back on RCB.
Tell us about Mhatre's innings. 94, you said. Sounds like a special one.
It really was. Absolutely sensational. 94 off just 48 balls. 9 fours, 5 sixes. His first IPL 52, he was timing it beautifully. Everyone was praising his technique. He really led that charge.
Fantastic knock. And Jadeja at the other end, anchoring it.
Exactly. Jadeja played a really crucial hand too. 77 not out off 45 balls. His second 50 of the season, he sort of took over after Mhatre got out, kept them in the hunt.
So Mhatre falls short of 100, but Jadeja's still there? The game's heading towards a tense finish then.
Absolutely. Got really tight. With 5 overs left, CSK needed 54. Then it came down to 29 off the last 2 overs.
Okay, getting very close now.
And then 15 needed off the final over. And crucially, who's at the crease? Jadeja and MS Dhoni.
Oh, wow. You couldn't write a better script, could you?
Yeah.
15 off the last, with those 2 in the middle. Drama guaranteed.
Absolutely. The crowd must have been going wild.
So who bowled that final over for RCB?
Dayal.
Dayal. Yeah. And talk about pressure. He starts the over and gets MS Dhoni out. LBW, 12 off 8 balls for Dhoni.
Huge. Getting Dhoni out at that stage, I mean, that's massive. He's the finisher, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. You think, okay, maybe that's the game. But then...
Just tell me there's another twist.
Oh, there is. The very next ball. Dayal bowls a high full toss, no ball. And Shivam Dubey, the new batsman, smashes it for 6.
No way. So that's 7 runs off 1 illegal delivery.
7 runs. So suddenly, instead of maybe 14 off 5, it's down to just 4 needed off the final legal ball. Unbelievable turnaround.
The pressure on Dayal must have been immense. What did he bowl?
He absolutely nailed it. Bowled a perfect Yorker right on the money.
Wow. Hard to hit that.
Impossible almost. They could only scramble a single.
Yeah.
And RCB won. With 2 runs. Just incredible scenes. What a finish. Just breathtaking stuff. And you mentioned earlier something about an eerie echo. What was that about?
Well, this is the crazy part. Almost the exact same situation happened the previous year. Same venue, Chinnaswamy. Yash Dayal bowling the final over for RCB against CSK with Dhoni and Jadeja at the crease needing runs.
You're kidding. That's uncanny.
It really is. The deja vu must have been intense for Dayal. To face that pressure again after what happened before? Remarkable.
Incredible mental fortitude. Okay, let's quickly touch on some key turning points. Obviously, Shepherd's innings was massive at the end for RCB.
Absolutely fundamental. Those runs he smashed, probably 20 or 30 more than they might have expected. That was arguably the difference right there. Huge psychological boost, too.
And with the ball for RCB, Lungi and Njidi played a big part too, didn't he?
Yeah, and Njidi bowled really well. His spell, 3 for 30, was crucial, especially getting Mhatre when he did, breaking that huge partnership.
And he got Brevis next ball too.
Yep, double strike. Just when CSK looked like they might be cruising, he pulled it back significantly for RCB. Huge moment.
But the fielding. You mentioned it wasn't perfect from RCB.
Yeah.
Some drop catches.
Yeah, there were a few fumbles. Njidi himself dropped Jadeja. Kohli dropped one too, I think. In a game decided by 2 runs, you look back at those moments. They were lucky it didn't cost them more. Bit sloppy, yeah.
Could easily have swung the other way. And was there something about a missed review?
Yes, there was an LBW shout. Brevis and Jadeja involved, I think, that looked pretty close on replay. Might have been out. But RCB were out of reviews by then. Another one of those what-if moments.
Every little thing matters in these tight ones. What about the ball getting hit out of the stadium? That was unusual.
Right, Jadeja absolutely smoked one out of the park. The replacement ball they brought on apparently was a bit drier.
So maybe that helped the bowlers get a bit more grip, spinners especially.
Potentially, yeah. Just another small factor that might have subtly influenced things in RCB's favor towards the end. Hard to say for sure, but possible.
Interesting. And Suyash Sharma's over, the 18th. That was important too.
Very important. He bowled the 18th and went for just 6 runs. At that stage, CSK needed to accelerate, but he kept it really tight. Built up the pressure brilliantly heading into those final 2 overs. Nerveless stuff.
And then back to Yash Dayal. We talked about the final over, but he'd gone for runs earlier, hadn't he?
He had, yeah. His second over went for 26 runs. So to come back from that mentally and then deliver that final over under that pressure against those batsmen, considering the history, it's just phenomenal character. Really impressive comeback within the match itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just shows you the swings and roundabouts of T20. Let's talk tactics quickly. RCB seemed to use the short ball quite a bit.
Yeah, that seemed like a definite plan, especially early on in the power play. They'd had success with it against CSK before, apparently, and they went back to it. Targeted that potential weakness against short-pitched bowling.
Smart cricket. Playing the percentages, analyzing the opposition. Anything else tactically that stood out?
Well, just little things, like how spin seemed more effective from one end than the other. And RCB's field placements in that final over, trying to cut off the boundaries, very calculated.
Small margins. On CSK's side, there was that debate about Dhoni's batting position, right? Coming in before Dubey.
Yeah, that was a talking point. Dhoni came in, but Dubey is known as a really powerful hitter, especially against spin. Some wondered if sending Dubey in earlier, maybe to target the spinners during the middle overs, might have kept the momentum going even more.
Hindsight's wonderful, isn't it? Easy to second-guess these things.
Always is. But it's a valid tactical discussion. And maybe, just maybe, CSK struggled a bit with executing their Yorkers consistently at the death when they bowled. Allowing those extra runs for Shepherd proved costly.
Yeah, nailing those death overs is so critical. Okay, zooming out, what did this result mean in the grand scheme of the tournament? Crucial for RCB.
Hugely crucial. Those 2 points took them to 16 points from 11 games, really tightened their grip on a playoff spot, maybe even put them in contention for that important top 2 finish. Massive win for their campaign.
And for CSK, another loss in what became a pretty tough season for them, already being out of playoff contention.
Yeah, it was just another disappointment for them, really. Marked, I think, their 8th loss in their last 10 games or something like that, a season they'll probably want to forget.
And historically, this win was significant for RCB against CSK too.
It was actually first time ever in 18 years of IPL that RCB managed to do the league double over CSK, beat them twice in the same regular season. Given the history and rivalry, that's a nice little feather in RCB's cap.
And the rivalry itself, this match just added another classic chapter, didn't it? Fans seem to love it.
Oh, absolutely. Called the most entertaining match of the season by many. It's always a huge clash, RCB versus CSK. Massive fan bases, that regional element. Games like this just fuel that intensity even more. Proper IPL classic.
Definitely. And it really showed the contrasting paths of the two teams this season, RCB gathering momentum, CSK just unable to find that winning formula consistently.
Exactly. Just highlights how quickly things can change in the IPL and how important finding form at the right time is.
Right. Well, what an incredible match to break down. This has been a fantastic deep dive. So just to quickly summarize the main points.
Yeah, essentially a nail-biting win for RCB. Driven by that brilliant opening partnership, then Shepherd's absolutely unbelievable finger with the bat. And then despite some fielding wobbles, their bowlers, particularly Ngidi and crucially Yash Dayal right at the end, just managed to hold on under immense pressure.
And for CSK, a valiant effort in the chase. Mhatre's 94 was spectacular. Jadeja played a great supporting role and then tried to finish it. But they just fell agonizingly short by 2 runs.
It really showcased everything great about T20, didn't it? The unpredictability, the momentum shifts, individual brilliance under pressure, tactical calls, everything packed into one game.
Absolutely. So for everyone listening, hopefully, you've now got a much richer picture of this amazing contest beyond just the score. You understand the key moments, the strategic plays, the ebb and flow that made it so special.
Yeah, and it really makes you think, doesn't it? How those tiny moments, a drop catch here, a boundary there, Shepherd's cameo, how they all accumulate to decide these incredibly close games and how players react under that intense pressure.
Definitely. Food for thought. What does this kind of gutsy win do for RCB's belief heading into the playoffs?
Yeah.
And what changes might CSK need to consider after a season like this? Lots to ponder.